beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Good Tuesday morning. We're going to start off. Where are we going to start off at today? Oh, I want to say hi to John. I met John at the Quick Shop this morning. Always have a lot of people come up and talk to me. And John said, give them hell, Bob. I listen to you every day. So, John, I'm going to dedicate this show to you, and I guarantee you I'll give them hell. And Danny Fry, we're going to get you some shirts out at the St. Charles 5th Street Club Fitness Center in St. Charles. I'm trying to read this, and my friend Joe. So we're going to get you and Joe, Danny. I should read this crap before I read it on the air so I'll know what the hell I'm talking about. But as I've always said, I'm not a big shot. I'm not a radio guy. I'm a crazy son of a bitch who happens to have the opportunity to get on the airways and let everybody know the way it is. Let everybody hear what they'd like to say, but for some reason, their job, just the opportunity not to be on the radio. But I speak for all of us people. No better, no worse. You know, you always hear the saying, you know, I'll stand behind you. No. You don't stand behind anybody. Don't take a second seat to anybody. And don't stand in front of anybody, because we're no better than the guy that we'd be in front of. But let's stand alongside. Let's stand alongside each and every one of us, because we're all equal. See, we're all equal in this world until we do things that makes us a little less equal. Had a guy today. I'd like to mention his name, but I won't. Romanik, my son was in trouble, and he just got convicted of a misdemeanor. Should have been a felony. And I said I was going to come up there in support. He said, well, their attorney says, don't you come up there because you're a felon. I said, what the hell does that have to do with it? His son wasn't supporting me. Then he says, no, I was all for it. But the judge said, and the state's attorney said, hey, the judge and the state's attorney can kiss my ass. They can kiss my ass. These bastards lie every day. They lie every day. Nobody says anything but me. But anyway, we won't go there. We're going to take care of our housekeeping. We're going to Lindenwood today. We're going back to East St. Louis with the teacher strike. What a bunch of great people. I didn't say perfect people. Teachers aren't perfect. None of us are perfect. Priests aren't perfect. Politicians are at the bottom of the line for being perfect, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. But these guys are having a hell of a fight down there, and I'm just afraid that the school district is going to wait them out. And we'll talk about that momentarily. St. Mary's Church, their October-6 coming up this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's St. Mary's Catholic Church, located at 519 East 4th Street in Alton, Illinois. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call 618-465-4284. Ought to be a good weekend. You guys in the Alton area or not even in the Alton area, go up and try to support that small little Catholic school, St. Mary's Catholic Church at 519 East 4th Street in Alton, Illinois. Don't forget the AMVETS Post 51 in Granite City, starting September the 13th and every Sunday until November the 22nd. They're turkey shoots. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call 618-931-3706. The benefit ride coming up this Saturday at St. Laborie. All proceeds donated to the St. Laborie Grade School. Sign up starts at 11:30 a.m. Rides start at the Brick House Bar and Grill across from the big church in St. Laborie. The Ash Grove Historical Town Center organization announces the Back Roads to Main Street Heritage Festival October the 17th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Main Street. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Stuart at 417-751-2034. Any of this information, if you guys don't have a pen, and why the hell would you not have a pen and paper and be ready to write it down because you're listening to the radio? Only being facetious. A lot of times people don't have paper, don't have a pen handy. You can always call the radio station and we'll give you guys whatever information you need, because we do want to help out all these civic organizations, church organizations, especially our military organizations. Trivia night, sponsored by St. Stephen's Catholic Church, the Men's Club. Saturday, October the 17th. Doors open at 6:30. Trivia starts at 7. Located at Vote Hall, 901 South Main Street in Caseyville, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can call Paul Steiger at 618-334-4400. St. Stephen's Men's Club, all-you-can-eat breakfast. That's Sunday, October the 18th. Pancakes, sausage, biscuits, the whole 9 yards. $6 for adults, $3 for children, 5 and under. It's this Sunday, October the 18th, from 8 a.m. to noon at Vote Hall. Freeburg, Illinois. They're great people, the stand-up people in Freeburg. Their Boy Scout Troop number 30, their barbecue, their rural family medicine parking lot is where it's going to be located from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on October the 17th. Pork steaks, bratwurst. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Randy Casper at 618-779-6209. You can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM, and also our award-winning sister station, the #1 station voted by the people in the St. Louis region, KZQZ 1430 AM, for the best in the Golden Oldies. Voted #1 radio station in the St. Louis market. You can also hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. and now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday, at the stroke of midnight. On this date, October the 6th, 1852, the American Pharmaceutical Association was founded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On this date, October the 6th, 1857, the American Chess Association was organized at the First American Chess Congress held in New York City. On this date, October the 6th, 1876, the American Library Association was organized in Philadelphia. On this date, October the 6th, 1893, cream o' wheat was invented by Nabisco Foods. Did I ever tell you the joke? You remember Lou Alcindor was a basketball player. He became a Muslim and changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And now they just told me that Buckwheat, you know Buckwheat from the Our Gang series, he became a Muslim and changed his name to, I screwed that up, didn't I? Never mind. Hey, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to get back with you.
It was funnier when you screwed it up.
Yeah, thanks. October the 6th, 1908. The Ohio Arts Company, maker of Etch-a-Sketch, we all had an Etch-a-Sketch, was founded by Henry Winsler. On this date, October the 6th, 1961, President John F. Kennedy urged every prudent American to build a fallout shelter. On this date, October the 6th, 1979, Pope John Paul II became the first pontiff to visit the White House, where he was received by President Carter. On this date, October the 6th, 1991, University of Oklahoma law professor Anita Hill accused Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas of having sexually harassed her while she worked as his personal assistant. Just another political cover-up. We all know what happened there. That's what happened on this date, October the 6th, throughout all these years in our world's history. I want to talk up yesterday, and I've got so many calls. Ray Coleman, the gentleman, and I use that term very loosely, who works for Washington Park as the governmental consultant, I guess. The mayor out there, I know she's capable of doing her job. I don't know why the good people of Washington Park need a $60,000 a year consultant when they can't pay their policemen or firemen. And that maybe not through their fault, but it's just a fact of life. But Ray Coleman's their $60,000 a year consultant. And now, I exposed it yesterday, he's trying to become the government affairs consultant in East St. Louis. And they tell me he's pushing for $80,000 to $100,000 a year. I said yesterday, you know, a consultant, they don't have to hang around 8 to 4, 9 to 5. They just kind of come and go. So Ray, through 2 impoverished cities, is going to be making probably $150,000 a year plus. Now, I don't understand Washington Park, and I sincerely don't understand East St. Louis. They're laying off firemen. They're laying off policemen. They're laying off public works people. And they're going to hire Ray Coleman as their governmental affairs consultant. And I still don't know what a governmental affairs consultant does. But I would tell you, Ray, I'm against you 1,000%. But if they're going to get rid of parks to put you in there, then maybe it's a trade-off. But you don't need 2 people doing the same job. And I'm calling the Mayor Jackson Hicks, and all the councilmen and women. Not saying anything bad about you people at this point. I'm just saying, would you even consider, why, I ask, why would you even consider bringing something to put the city another $80,000, $100,000 in debt for Ray Coleman? Now, Ray, he'll tell you that he single-handedly got President Obama elected. Ray will tell you that he single-handedly got Amika Jackson Hicks elected. Ray will probably tell you that he invented water and air. And he's pretty convincing. But for the board and the mayor to even consider bringing on any kind of governmental affairs consultant at $100,000 a year, when the poor people of East St. Louis are suffering. Not enough police protection. Not that the police officers don't do a great job, because they do. Not that the firemen don't do a great job, because they do. With what they have to work with, I think they do an excellent job. But they don't have much to work with. And now Ray Coleman, and he's been lobbying for this position. That shows you how asinine and how nasty this son of a bitch is. And Ray Coleman, they tell me that yesterday you were talking to some people. Did you make the statement, Ray Coleman, I ask you, that you heard me talk and I'm a no good son of a bitch, and you're not telling me anything I don't know and everybody else doesn't know. But did you, in fact, Ray Coleman, and if not, we'll keep the lines open for you, Ray, did you not, in fact, and I'm asking you, say that you were more important because you could bring more than hiring a few more policemen and hiring a few more firemen, that you put yourself on that pedestal, that you were more important in the police department, in the fire department? I'm asking, Ray, and I know you're listening. Give me a call, defend yourself, 394-1190. And you cheap son of a bitch, you can call me toll free at 1-888-394-1430. All you good people in East St. Louis, and I hope the political leaders are down there listening. I don't give a damn if it was my brother. Don't give a damn if it was my mother. Ray Coleman, number one's not qualified. And number two, where the hell are you going to come up with $80,000 or $100,000? And see, you guys are getting sharded because the people that know Ray Coleman for a title, Ray will probably pay you. He wants to be the big shot. Well, Ray, I say, move to East St. Louis. Run for mayor if you want to run that city. And I would think you would ruin the city more than run the city. Ray Coleman, how nasty can you get? How disrespectful can you get to the good people of East St. Louis when you're going to come in as a governmental affair? Go to Washington, D.C., you asswipe. I'll buy you a plane ticket. I'll buy you a first-class plane ticket to Washington, D.C. so you can be hired by President Obama, the guy that you, again, single-handed got elected. Of course, Ray, let me tell you, it'll be first class, but it'll be a one-way first class because I don't think the good people of East St. Louis, of St. Clair County, of Washington Park really need you, Ray. They don't need another parasitical punk politician. And that's what the hell you are. You're sucking off the people of Washington Park, the poor people of Washington Park. Now you want to suck off the poor people of East St. Louis. I mean, suck off their money, of course. But Ray Coleman, what a piece of crap. Ray, I'm waiting for a call. I'm waiting for a call, Ray Coleman, to defend yourself. But for you to say that you think you're more important than more policemen on the streets in East St. Louis, for you to say that you think you're more important for the firemen in East St. Louis and the public works people, that you're all that? Hey, I'm surprised, Ray. Did you get the Pope elected Pope? Is he going to make you a saint? Because if you're that good, you should be a saint. But I'm going to close, and I'm asking, not demanding, because I don't live in East St. Louis. I have a dog in the fight because I'm born and raised in East St. Louis, and I've always said, how East St. Louis goes is how this whole county goes. I would challenge Mayor Amika Jackson Hicks. I would challenge all the council, men and women on the council in East St. Louis, to not even address this situation. They say it's going to come up Thursday, but I predict, and my predictions have always been fairly well right on. I would predict that they won't even bring it to the floor now because they understand what's going on. I think the people, and you good people of East St. Louis, call the mayor. Call your councilmen and women. They work for you people. You don't work for them. Let them know. And isn't it amazing? It's just like St. Clair County. When there's a job comes up, does anybody know about it? Does anybody know about it? Hell no, they don't. They hire who they want when they want. But they'll come down below the hill. They'll go out to the outer county. Election time, they need your support. But I'll be damned, they're not giving you any support back, are they, people? And I say that for everybody in St. Clair County. Everybody needs to be pissed off. Here's Calvin Dye, going to run for coroner. A scathing editorial about why he shouldn't be coroner. Calvin Dye was a trooper. Then he worked as a contract laborer, as you've heard me before, making more money. Then when that contract was up, he worked as a deputy sheriff's bailiff. And then and you didn't know about that job, anybody out in the community. Then when a state's attorney's investigator's job come up, guess what? He got that. That man's been cycled and recycled. Hell, I won't say that. But Calvin Dye is just a prime example. Nobody knew about a job opening for the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office. And even if you didn't get it, wouldn't it have been nice for people qualified to at least be able to apply, to be able to know what's going on in this county? These bastards, you've heard me, I've offered them $10,000 to be transparent, to come on. You have to get rid of these kind of people because they're not good. They're not good for anybody all throughout this country. But just another. Ray Coleman wants $100,000 a year, governmental affairs consultant. Didn't see that in the paper. You know, it's amazing. And you people heard me, I am running for state representative, and there's going to be a candidate against Mark Sweet Cakes Kern. And I will tell that candidate, whomever it may be, that I'll throw my financial support, I'll throw my physical support, I'll throw my political support in his favor if he will pledge to every job that comes up in St. Clair County. Every job gets posted so everyone in St. Clair County, whether they want that job or not, would have the opportunity to know the job openings, have the opportunity to tell their family and friends, have the opportunity for them to apply if they'd like. It's not fair. You people pay all the salaries and you don't get the opportunity to get the job. That's what they've done in St. Clair County. They've never advertised for positions. Look at this ignorant, stupid, fat ass. And if I could find it, I'd talk about it, but I'll talk about it without finding it. Herb Simmons, the director of 911. He was let go, I believe, and Herb, if I'm wrong, call me at 394-1190 from MedStar Ambulance. So Kern, because Herbie Simmons put Kern's name all over his truck, Herbie Simmons was awarded the director of the 911, a man with a high school education. And I'm not sharding people that only have a high school education. A lot of people weren't fortunate enough. They had to go to work. They had families. But you've heard me. You can't fly my plane if you're not qualified. And you can't be the 911 director if you're not qualified. But nobody had the opportunity to even apply for that job. Oh, ass boy Herb Simmons, Herbie Simmons, Herbie the Hemorrhoid Simmons, he got the job because he was all up Mark Sweetcake's Kern's ass. I've never seen those qualifications in the paper. Good ass kisser, big lips. Qualified for this job? Never seen those as qualifications. But in St. Clair County, apparently, if you can get votes and kiss ass, you qualify for one of the most important jobs in St. Clair County, the 911 director. Nobody got to apply for that job. They didn't go out looking for somebody. They didn't advertise to get a top-notch 911 coordinator. No, they got ass wipe Herbie Simmons, a mayor of East Carondelet, because he kissed good ass. And Herbie, I'll tell you, Herbie, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Lindenwood and the teachers down in East St. Louis. I want to wish Herb Woodall from Washington Park, a good guy, great guy, Herb Woodall, happy 75th birthday. And that's from Bertha Qualls. Bertha wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Her and Tom and the Qualls family. So, Herb Woodall, happy 75th birthday. Hope you have another 75. Good luck to you. We're going to be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio, and we stand tall as the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio at its finest, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Okay, here's my joke, and I'm not going to screw it up this time. You remember Lou Alcindor? He was the ex-basketball player who became a pro basketball player, and his name was Lou Alcindor. And he became a Muslim, and so he changed his name from Lou Alcindor to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Remember that? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because Kareem is a popular Muslim name. And I was just told that Buckwheat, you know Buckwheat from the Little Rascal series, not Buckwheat Claiborne, but Buckwheat from the Little Rascal series. Buckwheat became a Muslim and changed his name from Buckwheat to Karima Wheat. All right. Never mind. Hey, on the phone with me, and it's an honor and a privilege to have him, Ward 2 Alderman for the city of Belleville, Mike Bittner. Mike Bittner is the alderman who has the ward that includes Lindenwood University with all this crazy crap going on, and I want to salute Mike because he's fighting the fight. Alderman Mike Bittner. Mike, how the heck you doing, buddy?
It's fine, Bob, but it's a pleasure being on your show this morning.
Hey, listen, Mike. I applaud you, and I've talked with a lot of people in the Belleville area that have applauded you for fighting the fight against the big boys. I want to ask you, why the hell does the mayor think he can get away with doing, and I believe, illegal activities by waiving fees, by doing all this? And I've talked with you recently, and your main concern is the safety factor for these kids. They tell me that there's some of these residents have 12 to 14 to 16 kids in there. And Mike, as we talked, if there's a fire, heaven forbid, there's going to be some major damage.
Well, and that's one of my main concerns, and that's why I brought it up on the city council floor last night. The city has some tremendous exposure right now since the mayor allowed Lindenwood to put kids in homes, more than 3 unrelated adults in homes, which is a direct violation of the city ordinances. And I was requesting the city attorney to give us an opinion as to what exposure and liability that puts the city in, because God forbid if something would happen to in one of these houses where we would lose one of these kids to a fire or other tragedy. Basically, they're in these homes illegally and with the permission of the administration, and I'm just very concerned about the civil exposure that the city's going to have if something, like I said, God forbid something happens.
Yeah.
There's homes that do not have permits, did not have permits for several years, and have been occupied. And my question again is, how does this happen? How does the administration allow this to happen? Somebody dropped the ball at City Hall, and like I said in the paper, it's gross negligence, it's incompetence, or it's a cover-up. There's something going on that needs to be looked into, and I just want to say I have nothing against Lindenwood University. I think it's a great thing that they are occupying the Old West Campus. And these kids that I met, they come down to my shop. Most of these kids are great kids. They're here to get an education. My main concern, and one of my other concerns, is the safety. I just don't see how it is conducive to a good learning experience, to study, to have a good experience at college. If you're crammed into a house with 5, 6, 7 kids,
yeah.
It's just, especially when you're living in living rooms and dining rooms, there's no privacy. There's where are these kids going to study? I think this needs to be looked at. We need to stop, slow down, and take a good hard look at how we're going to house these kids. Belleville should be a great place to come and go to school. I invite these kids to come. I want them in Belleville, but it needs to be a good place to live too. And we don't allow landlords and other individuals to have more than 3 unrelated adults in a home. Why should Lindenwood have be any different than anybody else? And why shouldn't they pay the fees that every other landlord has to pay?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Mike, and not to cut you off, but why do they get special dispensation? Now, I know you're being politically correct and say it's either gross negligence, incompetence, or a cover-up. I personally think it's illegal what's going on. I think if the mayor has been waiving fees, has been letting this go, I think it's official misconduct. This guy cannot do that, but he's been doing it. I think there ought to be a move, not just to get all these houses back in the order. I think there ought to be a move to impeach or charge the mayor, because he can't legally do this, can he?
Well, I don't think so, and that's one reason I'm bringing it out. I think it needs to be looked at. We need to find out what's going on, and I'm not comfortable with it. Like I said, the city of Belleville has a lot of exposure right now, and we're broke anyway. We don't have the money to start paying off lawsuits because of bad decisions by the administration.
Yeah. I'm reading from the newspaper, and this is Bob Romanik's words, not Mike Bittner, not Alderman Mike Bittner, but this stupid idiot, this skank, Janet Schmidt, the witch, not the bitch, but the witch. She's saying most people like it. I don't think Janet Schmidt knows what the hell's going on. I know she had her website for her witchcraft. She took that down. This lady, I think, just opens her mouth to hear herself talk. But Janet Schmidt, is she part of the problem, do you think, Mike?
Well, I think sometimes there's more than some of the aldermen that just go along with the mayor instead of standing up and making decisions on their own. That's what I was elected to do. That's what I told the people I was going to do. I'm going to do what I think is best for the city as a whole and best for the people in my ward. The people on 27th Street, 28th Street, 29th Street, and West A, these are people that have bought into Belleville, did not approach Lindenwood. Lindenwood sent letters out to see if everybody on the street wanted to sell. A lot of these people, and these people that are standing up, do not want to sell. They didn't even go and talk to Lindenwood about selling. They invested in their homes. They're tax-paying citizens. They want to live where they bought into Belleville, and they want to live out their lives here. And I think what we need to do is figure out if we follow the ordinance the way it is, 3 in a house is workable. I don't think any of us would have any problem with 3 in a house, like any other landlord. And you don't have all the congestion, you don't have all the traffic, you don't have the parking issues. It's much more workable with a limit of 3. So I just feel like there's a lot of disinformation getting out there that people are against Linwood. We're not against Linwood. I'm not against Linwood. These residents that want to stay in Belleville, want to stay in these neighborhoods, are not against Linwood. But I think somebody needs to stand up for the tax-paying citizens that are here that want to live out their lives in Belleville. I mean, these people are anchored in. They want to be here. Most of the folks that I know on West 8th Street left town. So these are the anchors that are staying. I think we need to take care of those people that want to stay and be the rock and the foundation for the city.
Yeah. Mike, I've driven through that area, and I understand Lindenwood College. I think they've done some good, some bad. But when I drive there, I don't care if there's one house that wasn't purchased by Lindenwood because the people wanted to live there. Their lives, they've been there 10, 15, maybe 20, 30 years. Their lives shouldn't be disrupted just because of Lindenwood College. And then I see where Mrs. Schmidt, the witch, Mrs. Schmidt, I would move there in a heartbeat, Schmidt said, of the neighborhood around Lindenwood. Most people like it. Well, I would say to anybody who'd like to sell their house, sell it to Janet Schmidt, because apparently she likes that neighborhood so much, but she doesn't live there, does she, Mike?
No, she doesn't live in the neighborhood. So, and I just think that people need to understand that how would they feel if this was happening in their neighborhood? Their homes are their biggest investment. A lot of people stay there. It's like I said, it's home. It's emotionally you're tied to it. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of family history. You saw your kids grow up there, so you have that emotional tie as well as that's where you want to live your life. And I don't think that an outside corporation like Lindenwood should come in and disrupt the lives of the residents for profit. Yep. And basically what it is.
Mike, I want to salute you for fighting the fight. I know it's kind of an uphill battle, and it's a shame because Mayor Maximus Vaginas, Mark Eckert, he has his bobbleheads, and they're going to go along with the program just because he says to. But I hope you and all the aldermen that are siding with you on this very important issue will understand the importance, and I hope the other aldermen on the other side of the aisle will also understand it, because this is going to get out of hand, because there's going to be lawsuits with people that own property, that rent property out. You guys can't be discriminatory against, the regular rental residents, can you?
Well, no, and we got to treat everybody the same. We have to. We can't waive fees for some, not for others. We got to make sure that everybody plays by the same rules. If Lindenwood University is allowed to put more than 3 people in a home, then why can't a landlord that has a property right next door?
Good.
We got to play fair. So, but the reason we have ordinances and the reason we have occupancy restrictions is because through history we figured out you cram too many people in a concentrated area, you have problems. And if you limit the number of people to a workable number, you eliminate a lot of the issues of overcrowding, noise, nuisance, traffic, parking, trash, everything that goes along with it. So, like I said, the neighborhoods are the foundation of the city. You shouldn't destroy neighborhoods just because Lindenwood wants to expand. And it's a great thing that they do, and they have every right to buy homes. And I have no animosity towards any of the people that sold it to Lindenwood. Most of these people on the West 8th Street, it was the best thing that could happen to them. So it was a point in their life that they needed to go either somewhere else or they left. It was a time for them to sell.
Yeah.
But like I said, most of them left town. It wasn't like they bought a house on the other end of Belleville. They left.
Yep.
So, when Lindenwood buys these homes, they come off the tax rolls. Another issue that we need to face is when these come off the tax rolls, we're in TIF 3. TIF 3 is funding just about everything in the city right now. So that's money that's coming out of TIF 3 when these houses come off the tax rolls. So that's less money we have to spend. The state's not sending the money they're supposed to be sending right now. Like I said, the city's going to be in some big trouble in the next few months if the state doesn't get their act together. And when we lose more and more houses off the tax rolls, it's going to get worse instead of getting better.
Yeah. Mike, and then one last question, then we're going to have to take a break. That was a night, and this is Bob Romanik's opinion. I used to drive through there because I know people that live there. Had nice trees, nice neighborhood, people walking around, improving their houses. I drove by the last couple of weeks. All I see is chat and rock, no trees. What the hell happened to all the trees in that pretty neighborhood?
Well, some of the trees they did take down, but they put rock down in the back of the homes so they can have parking for the number of students they have in the house. There was enough room for 3 cars behind every single one of these homes. But now, because you're putting 5, 6, 7, 8 kids in a house, they rocked the back, a lot of the backyard, and now it's a parking area. So a lot of the green space is gone. Initially, they went through and just sprayed all of the green vegetation. There was a house next to us that they did some, I go landscaping, but I think it was just for show, basically, since there was such an uproar about spraying the vegetation. But it's just in the back of the houses. It's all gravel now. Along Main Street, a lot of the houses are very well kept. It's like the icing on the cake. The people need to take a look at once you get off the street, off the main street. A lot of the houses aren't kept up like the other ones that everybody can see.
Yeah. Hey, Belleville, Ward 2 Alderman, Mike Bittner. Mike, you keep up the fight. The people in your ward ought to be thankful to have somebody that's going to buck City Hall and do the right thing. So thank you for taking the time to give us all that information.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day.
You too. Have a good day. Mike Bittner, Belleville Ward 2 Alderman, fighting the fight. And I agree with Mike. I think Lindenwood University is a great place. But you can't go around bullying people, bullying neighbors. There's people who have been in that neighborhood for a long time. And there's nothing worse than having a bully come to your neighborhood and start bullying you around. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. We got a few minutes left. I want to get back to School District 189, and I certainly want to salute all the teachers at Local 1220. They're out there fighting every day. They're out there fighting the fight to try to get a contract, to try to get what I believe they deserve. Because I would rather give a teacher $200,000 a year to teach our students, our children, our most precious commodity, than give these rotten bastard politicians $200,000 a year for doing nothing but screwing us. And I know the teachers, I don't know what they're actually making, but whatever they make, they deserve. They're out there fighting the fight every day. They're out there taking care of our children, watching over our children, educating our children. And I don't know what proposal they have, but what pisses me off is this Arthur Culver, the superintendent, who I thought had to have a doctorate degree, but apparently in East St. Louis you don't have to. In Culver, he argued the only way to sustain the salary schedule is to raise property taxes. It's always a scare tactic with these no-count, low-life, greasy politicians. And he's not a school superintendent. Arthur Culver is a politician. Hey, Arthur, we're worried about all the finances in East St. Louis. For what little you do, you rotten bastard, why don't you give up your salary? And I would say they're going to try to wait the teachers out. And the teachers, they've got bills. They've got house payments, car payments. They got to feed their family. The school district's going to try to wait them out. And maybe they do and maybe they don't. But I would ask Culver, in the vein of fair play, as long as the teachers aren't getting paid, why the hell should you get paid? You need to give up your salary. You're not administrating anything when there's no school opening. You're sitting on your dead ass. You and the rest of the people you brought down from Springfield, the rest of Senator Foghorn, I say buckwheat clay barns, people. You guys have disrespected the proud people of East St. Louis. So I would challenge you, Arthur Culver, you stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, and that's what I think you are. You were brought down here to help the school district, to help the good people of School District 189, the good people of East St. Louis, and you've done nothing but put a wedge. But see, that's the mentality of you politicians, to divide and to conquer. But I would ask, Arthur Culver, superintendent of School District 189, you piece of political crap, why don't you give up your salary? The teachers aren't making any money. The teachers are starving at this point. Why don't you? Why don't you? You know why you won't? Because you're part of the political arm. You're not from East St. Louis. You don't know anything about East St. Louis. But for you to sit there and put that scare tactic that would have to raise property taxes, they can't be raised anymore. The politicians in St. Clair County, they've made sure that the proud people of East St. Louis, they can't go anywhere. They can't afford to go anywhere. So the politicians will dole out $1 here, $1 there at election time, and hopefully they'll get reelected. I don't think it's going to happen in 2016, and I keep preaching that. I think there's going to be a revolution, not a violent revolution, a political revolution, not just in East St. Louis, not just below the hill, but all throughout St. Clair County. But school district 189, you teachers, local 1220, you keep the faith because you guys are fighting the battle, and you're probably not going to get everything you want, but hopefully you can wait them out. But you know what they're going to do. They're going to try to stall it. They're not going to negotiate in good faith. They never do. So Culver, you and your cronies, your political cronies, just remember that this is our future generations, our children. You're hurting the school teachers by not giving them what they're worth. But more than that, Arthur Culver and the school district 189 administrators, you're hurting the good children, the children of East St. Louis, who don't have that many opportunities. And I would say to the administration, to Arthur Culver, the school district board members, please do not handicap the students of East St. Louis any more than they have been in the past because of the political situation. Give these students the opportunity to get a good education so they can move on and they can support their families and they can be successful. Don't let politics, Arthur Culver, don't let politics play a part in your scheme to destroy the East St. Louis School District. 189 school teachers, keep the fight up. They're down in the schools today. They're picketing hard for what they believe they deserve, and hopefully it'll be resolved. But I think the good people of East St. Louis, the parents, they need to call the school district and talk to this Culver, this piece of political crap. Talk to the school district board members and say, we've had enough. You guys have done enough to hurt all of us down in East St. Louis. Let's stop this now. Let's give the teachers a fair shake, and let's all move forward so our town, our children, can be successful down the road. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. You know the routine. Every day's like Groundhog Day, but that's what we do. We fight the fight. We get knocked down. We pick ourselves up. We get knocked down. We pick ourselves up. We fight day in and day out. We are making a difference, people. Everyone is finally understanding what's going on, not just in St. Clair County, but throughout this great state and this great country. So research what I say. Research what you read. Don't let anyone make your decision for you. Don't take $5, $10 for a vote when these guys are taking your vote and going to make $100,000. If you have to sell your vote, which you never should, which is illegal, get $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000. Get something worth your while so you can buy a car, not a hamburger. And that's what the hell they want you to do. So let's continue. All of us, men, women, black, white, Democrats and Republicans, let's continue to unite, to educate each other, to expose these no-count son of a bitch and political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians. And I want to apologize to the punks of the world. They're not as bad as these rotten bastards. And remember, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And at the end of the day, we can destroy these bastards and make our lives better, make our children's lives better, their children's lives better. We have to start now, because if we don't, they'll destroy us. And let's destroy them again, politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.